So let's start with you, Zoe. Tell us about yourself.
Well, sorry. I don't know what. Well, I'm 21 years old. Well, nearly 21. I'm 20 still. And I'm a student at UCT. And basically, yeah, I grew up in Johannesburg, but I was born in Cape Town. And it's been really nice to kind of connect back to my roots in Cape Town by studying at UCT. So yeah.
What are you studying, Zoe?
I'm studying sociology and English literature. Those are my majors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I actually wanted to study science initially, but I really wanted to go to UCT and they didn't accept me, but accepted me. So I don't know, the universe worked things out really well and I'm really loving what I'm studying at the moment.
Yeah. And so now, and by the way, I must just let people know, Zoe is my friend's daughter, and you'll be meeting my friend Michelle. So I've known Zoe since, I think you were 9. I think
probably, I don't remember.
Yeah. Maybe more because Luke is now 13. But anyway, so Zoe, now with the lockdown, you are at home. You're back in Johannesburg with your mum and dad, right?
Yeah, it's quite an adjustment because I'm used to obviously being on my own and not living with any of my family. So like being in each other's space all the time it's something to get used to. But I'm also really glad that I came home because I think right now it's very important to be surrounded by love and people that can help you, motivate you to just be like kind of normal almost. Yeah. So pretty glad I'm home.
Yeah. Okay. Is Sam at home?
Even though, yes, Sam is at home.
Okay.
We've been fighting, but it's okay. We still love each other a lot.
Siblings, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Zoe. So tell me, when you first heard about the virus, about this thing that was happening to people that started in China, tell me what you felt. Where were you? Can you just talk about that?
I can't remember exactly where I was. But I remember like it just being spoken about a lot. And it wasn't like, because it was so removed from like our reality initially, it wasn't like, it didn't seem that serious. But I did have a friend, one of my friends is from South Korea, and her parents were affected way before we were. So they were on lockdown and everything. And she was like stressing and stuff. And I was like, and like people were still making jokes about it. And perhaps I was also still doing some of that. But yeah, and she was just not impressed, you know, because like this was something that was seriously affecting her family's livelihood. And we just didn't understand at that point how serious the situation was. So yeah, I don't know where I was, but that's like, I didn't feel that much towards it. It just didn't feel very real until it came to South Africa.
Okay. And I suppose when they declared a lockdown, I guess that got serious for all of us, right?
Yeah,
but I guess even before that, right?
Yeah, before that, when university closed, which was the first time Cyril addressed the nation, that's when I was like, oh, this actually might be a bit serious.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nope, I'm definitely going home like immediately as soon as I can. Yeah. Because we don't know like what's gonna happen and how long, and because like my friend's family had gone through a similar situation, we knew that this thing could last for like 3 months, you know, at most. Yeah. You know, so it's like, so I was like, I'm not spending 3 months alone in Cape Town. I'm definitely going to my family. Yeah.
And to your mom's really good cooking.
Yes. Yes, that's great.
So, yeah, Michelle's going to not be happy with me painting her into a corner, but she is a good cook. Yeah.
She is.
And Zoe, if you can talk a bit about your friend from Korea, what did she say how were they being affected? You mentioned their livelihoods, her family's livelihoods.
So her parents, I think they own a restaurant.
Oh,
So they couldn't earn money during that period of the lockdown. So it was very tough financially, and they were supporting her financially as well. So she just felt a lot of pressure to like ease their like her financial weight on them, you know.
Yeah.
So obviously that was hectic, and they live in an apartment, so it was, you know, that can be very stressful on mental health if you can't like get outside, get fresh air, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that was just the way it was affecting it, financial stuff and mentally. So yeah, it seemed, it's like I was like, oh wow, this is hectic for them, you know.
Yeah.
But it didn't. Yeah, just wasn't a thing. Yeah.
Okay. And then right now, and for you now, how has it had an impact on your life? What are like on a daily basis, what has been the impact on your life?
Well, you know, my whole life has changed. I'm back at home, not going, like school is the biggest thing, and going to capoeira, as the Brazilian martial arts that I practice, which I do 4 times a week. So it's like, obviously not being able to physically do those things it feels weird, and being at home is also it's just so strange, you know. But I'm trying. We're starting online school next week. Online learning, so it's interesting. Like this week has been like an orientation week, so they've been sending us like a whole lot of emails and all that stuff. It's a bit overwhelming. And I think I am the type of person who relies on that school environment in order to learn like productively. So I've been a little bit stressed about that. But luckily I'm still able to do capoeira via Zoom. Thank you, Zoom, for allowing us to plug. Yeah, so I do my capoeira 4 times a week still, and that's been, and I do Tai Chi with my mom in the mornings. So that's really what's been keeping me like feeling like a human still, you know. So that's basically how it's been affected. But I think there are some positive things actually that have come out of this. So I think it's really, as much as my family annoys me and it's strange that we're like all in the same place at the same time. Luckily, my dad still goes to work, so yeah. But what's the name? It's really nice to just have that time with each other that we wouldn't usually have, and just reconnect and get to know each other again. You know, which even if we're on holidays here, we're always doing stuff with our friends and stuff. So we don't really get like this type of time with each other. And also just time to myself as well, which I would try to do daily meditations, and I try to bake as often as I can. I have a cooking show on my Instagram stories, which I've been enjoying. So I don't know. It's just it's not the best situation, but it's also, I feel very privileged to have a house, have my own room, have a garden, you know, have people, have a very loving and supportive environment that I can actually do things like Tai Chi and capoeira, and I can feel like I can do my work, and my mom cooks for me and stuff. So there's a lot of things that are pretty okay. Like, as much as it feels like the world is kind of crumbling, the position I'm in I feel like I can still make it, and I don't think that's obviously not the reality of most South Africans.
Yes.
So I feel very blessed and privileged, actually.
Okay. Okay, Zoe. So what hasn't changed for you, do you think? Do you think that those are the things that haven't changed? Or is there anything else that you can talk about that hasn't changed for you?
That hasn't changed. I still get up in the mornings, as my sleeping schedule hasn't changed. So I like to keep that the same, because otherwise I just feel like I could lose it very easily if I don't really have like a routine type of thing.
Yeah.
So I never sleep after 12. Yeah, okay, yesterday I slept at 12:15, but that's like, I hardly sleep after 12, and I try to wake up at 7:30 or as early as I can, just so that, you know, I just have something to keep me like, yeah, like focused, you know, so I don't like feel like this is just a never-ending holiday.
Yeah.
I still want to be productive and be, you know, do things. And even if I don't, like, I'm not productive every day, but even if I don't do everything, even if I don't do like things that make me feel productive during the day, I know that I have my Tai Chi, I have my capoeira, and I make my bed every day as well, which is, I mean, so that's just something very important to me, that I just to keep, I don't know, I like order in my life.
Yeah.
And I think it's just good for my mental health to have that order, so I don't feel like I can just slump into like a depression or something, you know.
Yeah. And then do you keep and do you keep in touch with friends and stuff?
Yes, I definitely do. I've been having video calls and stuff, but it's obviously not the same. And I downloaded House Party. So that was cool for a little bit, but it got boring after a while. But it is, I feel very, it's cool that we have technology, you know, because it would be very weird if we were in this situation and we just weren't able to speak to anyone, like, at all, or anything that's going on outside. Yeah. So technology is like really been there for us. So it's helped me keep in touch with my friends and stuff. Obviously not as much as I'd like to be, but also I guess that's okay, because that time comes into myself.
Yeah. What do you think are the main lessons we can take from the situation? At a personal level for you, and as well as just generally the world, humanity.
Yeah, I think main lesson is that for me, as humanity, I can definitely say that we have a lot of work to do in terms of how we treat the earth and each other, because, you know, I think this time has really like made us think a lot more about how like, I don't know, how the world is just like formed, because like we put so much in our system, the capitalist system. Like, there's so much pressure to be productive all the time, and if you're resting, you like feel guilty or lazy. And that's just now been put to a stop, because like, and people can see that you can still do work and stuff and still rest at the same time. So I think that's a big lesson, just to like take time for yourself in any situation, you know. And also just, we have to look after the earth, because I watched this a TED talk on the virus before it blew up, because I was deciding whether or not to go to a festival.
Oh, okay.
My brother's partner from the U, they were studying in the US, and they had to come home because their university also closed. So they were like, told to get out the residences and stuff. And they were like, please don't go to this festival. This is a lot more serious than you think. And I was like, no, man. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Anyway, so during this time, I watched this video, and this woman was just talking about how we would not come into contact with such viruses, these new viruses, if we didn't keep tapping into these wild spaces that aren't for us to go into, you know? So like the virus was from wild animals, and like if we didn't go into like keep breaking down the Amazons and all these sacred spaces, then there wouldn't be such things. So we have to like think about these things a bit more, because now it's really affecting us like properly.
Yeah.
And not just the people, those indigenous people that lived there, and those animals that were there. So yeah. Personal lessons, I'm not so sure yet. I just think, yeah, I'm really glad that I've got my stuff that can keep me grounded, you know. And I think I need to keep up with that in my normal life as well, because I think I've been focusing a lot more on that now, and it's really helped me, and I think it can go even further when life is back to normal.
You're talking about the capoeira and the tai chi and having a schedule and stuff like that.
And yeah, meditation, especially. I've really been putting a lot of effort into my meditation and my writing, my gratitude journals. So yeah, I think that's something that I kind of lost at the beginning of the year, like journaling and meditation. I was doing it, but not as often as I would have liked to. But now I'm definitely doing it like every day.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's lovely, Zoe. That's great. Okay, and then the last question, but the big one. In what way do you think the world has changed irreversibly, or will have changed irreversibly? Well, whenever if there is ever a cure or after lockdown or whatever, but in what ways has the world changed irreversibly, or will have changed irreversibly, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not 100% sure, obviously, but I definitely think that people are starting to be a lot more conscious of how capitalism affects us and people, and like even just like grocery store workers, how they are actually essential workers, you know. Like people who give us food, people who provide food for us, like that's essential things, and they don't get recognized enough. And I think now we are seeing that, wow, these people are actually very important, and we need them, and perhaps they need to be paid more, you know. They probably do. Like, so I just think that people are just seeing the gaps that lie within capitalism that weren't so visible before. And yeah, I hopefully, I think, I don't know, my dad thinks it's gonna create some kind of revolutionary consciousness, but I don't know, I'm not as hopeful, but I'd like to, like, in my ideal world, I'd like to think that that's what could happen, you know, some sort of revolution.
Oh, that's so lovely, Zoe. Is there anything else you want to say? Do you feel you'd like to say?
Yeah, I just want to, like, as a closing thing, you know, this isn't the best situation, but I definitely think we can recognize all the things that we do have, and what can make things better for us, and like things within yourself that can help you through the situation, because it's not every day is all sunshines and rainbows for me either. But like, definitely trying, and yeah, I think that's the most important thing for me.
Okay, thank you, Zoe. Thanks so much.
Pleasure, Claire.
I'll be in touch about maybe your bio and stuff like that, and I'll just put it under your video. And
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Thanks,
It was
Zoe.
nice seeing you.
Love you, babe. Bye.
Bye. Love you too.